Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. The cards have been shuffled and washed, and I just wanted to give them a quick cut. We're going to look for the underlying energy. I had my deck upside down for this reading. Okay, so the underlying energy for this reading is regret. This is the Five of Cups, and this person is standing here, and this is like crying over spilled milk. So there's like 3 cups here. It's actually wine though. And there's 3 cups here that are spilled, and the wine is poured into the ground. And then there's 2 cups standing behind them. This card can represent also someone that is letting go of addictions because they no longer have an appetite for the wine. And so they're kind of like, what? I don't want to drink wine. And so what this card is saying is focus on the 2 cups behind you. You notice there's a bridge over here and that leads to this castle. And there's troubled waters in between, but there's a bridge, so this person could easily just pick up these 2 cups, go down the bridge, and go to the castle. And even the castle, you'll notice in the distance, it's half decrepit and half upright. And this card is giving advice right away that if you've lost something, focus on what you have and appreciate that, and be grateful for what you have and move forward with that, and it will benefit you. Okay, so here we have another card. I'm just going to double check. Whoops, sorry. Yes, it's in the right position. So this card represents also wanting to move on. And it's interesting because we have 2 wands here which represent action, and then we have the 2 cups here. So perhaps this has been happened to you or someone you know, and it's saying, okay, there's the globe in his hand represents the world, and actually he's standing on his turret, and that might be this turret here, and saying like, is the glass half empty or the glass half full kind of energy. And this quite often can be someone who's feeling like a big fish in a little pond and wanting to expand their horizons. And perhaps there has been a loss here, and you decided, okay, I'm going to take these 2 cups and I'm going to work with them. So I'm getting that this card could be someone who actually wants to make a move to a new location, or it could just be like someone who wants to change their attitude. We'll see some more. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so there is some sort of wealth and happiness and wealth, health, and happiness involved in this. The pentacle often represents coin, something we've worked for that we've lost part of it, and now we are thinking about moving on to a new way. The Knight of Pentacles brings in a message, and the message is the thing about the Knight of Pentacles, you'll notice his horse is at a standstill, and very much like these 2, he's just sitting there and looking off into the horizon. And this can sometimes can indicate that a message comes, but by the time you take action, it's too late. That you're just sitting there and surveying the land instead of actually doing something. They all kind of are the same, like in a place where you haven't made a choice to take action yet. But now the conception, the 8 of Wands comes in. So this is saying, okay, action is going to be coming now because perhaps a message has come in. In the old days, the knight would bring in the message by horse. But these days, it could be something like some sort of communication you've been waiting for. And because these 8 wands represent something, a project or some sort of move or some sort of thinking that now it has turned into action. And so that you've decided, okay, I'm going to pull the arrow and I'm going to launch those wands, and then they're going to land when they land. And that this energy sometimes says that the communication comes in too late, but it feels like, so this could be regret over an action taken and it's too late to stop the action, or regret because you lost something and now you are launching an action. Okay, so there's been some competition here. This is my Mean Girls card. This is an immature attitude towards competition. So these people are fighting over the wands basically. And one of them is just sort of observing the rest of them fight over the wands. But the thing is that this could be something that caused these cups to spill. And that's why this person now wants to move on, or why you want to move on. But there's been communication coming in, possibly that you are moving on and you're going to do something new, and they've gotten word and now they're in competition for what you just launched. It could go several ways here. And then we have the Emperor. So the Emperor is like all four kings rolled into one. So this energy is like the Emperor is all about performance. He's got his armor on underneath his robe, and he's ready to go and make something happen in a moment's notice. He has control of his emotions. He's wise. He knows how to take things from the etheric and bring them down to earth. And so this energy is a very powerful energy. So I'm not sure why the Emperor is here in this place. Let's take a look and let's see. Okay, because there's going to be like there's 9 cups here. Interesting. So there's this action that has just been taken is a very strong action, because the Emperor is all about performance. So by deciding not to just sit there and kind of be like crying over spilled milk or wine, is saying that now you have 9 cups. You're in this place from only having these 2 cups, and that was really quick actually, which is kind of interesting because this is the slowest knight in the deck, right? So it kind of it doesn't quite make sense, but it could be that you're consulting with an Emperor. Or it could be like that move that quickly, or this is the cups that spilt made a chain reaction that caused you to make a decision, and then that just overnight, like it feels like overnight success, but it's not overnight success. There is no such thing really as overnight success. Quite often it will appear to others that you have overnight success, but generally most people who all of a sudden make it really big have put a lot of work into something, and it's just finally recognized. So it could be that an Emperor has recognized your hard work and has decided that they want to support you, and so you have all of this. It's like a wish come true. That feels like what it could be here, because like if you have a wish come true, because you have 8 wands here and then you have 2 here, and there's a lot of competition for this support, and maybe you were chosen for a promotion, or I'm getting, it's kind of weird, but I'm getting a role in a movie, like that kind of energy, something that you tried out for, and then you were chosen as the lead actor or actress, that kind of energy. The Emperor can also be a woman in their masculine energy, as the Knights can be women in their masculine energy. So this energy is though saying that because you chose to let go of these 3 cups, that these 2 and take these 2 cups and work with what you have, it has been a really good beneficial decision. And this also can be like when you lose, this could be someone that had an addiction and they've overcome it, or an obsession with someone and they've overcome it, or like something like insisting on doing something one way and then realizing, oh, there's a better way to do it, that kind of energy. And then we have the Page of Swords coming in. So the Page of Swords is also bringing communication in, and there's like the ground under the Page of Swords' feet is moving, and he's the only page like that is not looking at the element that he is, like is the suit that he's representing. And it's kind of like he is not looking at, he's not thinking about it anymore. He's taken action now. Like this always reminds me of someone who's golfing and is about to take a swing. So this is a very youthful energy. The pages would normally start to work for the royalty around the age of 7 and 14. And then when they grew up, if they were well accomplished at the tasks they were given, they could become a knight when they were 21, and as long as they could afford a horse. And I feel like that's kind of maybe a little bit the energy here. Someone that's been in, like, what would be the word? In training. Someone that, like, this could be like training for a sport, training, like putting a lot of work into, like, for acting, you know, like going to school. And the Page of Swords is someone that is educated. So it could be like, okay, you've got your education and now you're ready to move forward, but you couldn't find the position that you wanted or in the career that you wanted, which is not at all uncommon for people who finish university or whatever and then can't find a good job or a position in a company that is utilizing what they went to school for. I feel like it's somewhat energy like that. Yeah, because now, so this is the, I'm building a pyramid here, and this is the energy of what you need to be able to succeed. And so it's kind of speaking about that energy of, like, you've put the work in to have this education or whatever, and either it's really like, and you couldn't find work, and maybe now you've been chosen because all of a sudden you have all these opportunities. The thing about this Nine of Cups, though, is that it's like a wish come true. But when you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it yet. And so it means that you're going to have to, you know, put the work in to be able to make this work. And this card, the Seven of Pentacles, is all about that. He's sitting here and he's looking at, oh, look, I worked this hard to have health, wealth, and happiness, and maybe put a lot of years into educating myself and paying for that education. And I want to have a position using my qualities that I learned from doing this, or get the part in the movie, or be the lead singer in the band, or like that kind of energy. Be hired for the position that I trained for. And at one point, it just feels like whatever field this is in, there's so much competition in that field that this could represent someone, perhaps you've put in application after application after application, and you're starting to wonder, was like, I did all this work to be able to do this, and now I can't get a position doing it. And you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and maybe now the word came in, because the Page of Swords is communication, and quite often that communication is regarding some sort of position. Like it could be like it could be a promotion also. And then we have I'm just saying also that the cups represent love, but I don't get that this is a romantic one at this point yet anyway. This could be for something you really wanted to do, like you put all this energy into it because you really love the thought of becoming this, and it's been disappointed because it feels like it didn't come through, and maybe now there's a position that you do have. And it's kind of, the moon talks about cycles, and I feel like this energy here is like being in this position where maybe you just had to wait for the cycle to, you know, turn over. This card represents like when the Fool begins his journey in the major arcana. The Moon card is the card where it's saying, okay, you have to go through the portal. You have to get through all the hidden aspects and everything. And you have to, there's a wolf and there's a dog. So that kind of is an indication that you needed to kind of calm down your wild side. Like maybe study instead of party is the energy I'm getting, you know, howling at the moon. Both of them are howling at the moon, basically, but one of them is domesticated and one is a wild child, right? And so it could be that inner struggle. Maybe these represent partying too much, you know, that kind of energy I'm picking up. And you see the crab coming out of the water. That water represents emotions and climbing out of your shell and really allowing yourself to be seen, so that all of the talents that you've accumulated are now, you're in a position maybe where you are asked to come in for an interview or try out, you know, at a recital, or, you know, that kind of energy. And then we have the Queen of Swords. And so it's like the Queen of Swords is sitting on her throne, and she's got her left hand reaching out, showing that she's willing to receive, and I feel like this could be someone who's in a position to make the decision whether it's you that's going to get hired, because we have like all the competition here. We have the Emperor, who's basically in charge, and the Queen of Swords, and she has her sword ready, so she'll cut through the bullshit. She has a very clear mind. And she, like her head is above the clouds, so she's possibly going through different applicants and has chosen you to come in for an interview. Awesome. Let's see what happens now. Okay, and this is about multitasking, and it can be like being very busy and multitasking, and so perhaps that's why it's taken so long to come through, because there was so many applicants and they had a lot of choice. And this is about the infinity symbol represents limitless possibilities, and juggling those limitless possibilities. That's kind of energy I'm picking up here. Because the sword represents like cutting through the bullshit, like cutting through the paperwork, it may be. And, you know, to choose an applicant, the applicant. And yeah, this is really interesting, because I'm just getting this, this card is quite often a walking contradiction. And this energy is like he's carrying these 5 swords, but he's looking back at these 2, and it may be that there's 2 applicants that they're deciding that they're juggling between, and you're going in for an interview. And it's either you or one other person after a whole bunch of other people applied. That's the energy I'm getting. I've never done a reading quite like this before. And so they were looking at 7 applicants, but they have to choose the one. And it's between 2 people is what I'm getting. And you're one of them. And then the Death card comes on. This is transition. So this is good. This is kind of ending this energy here of wanting to move on. Perhaps you're in the place and waiting, that you no longer have to wait. This cycle has ended, because this energy at the bottom of my pyramid is what you need. And this is the obstacles that you may face before you are able to manifest what you want. So this card, although it can be really scary looking, because the Grim Reaper's there, it usually just means the end of a cycle. So this this cycle of disappointment and waiting and working to get the position, I feel like it's over. You have a really good chance of, if you've applied somewhere or you've tried out, this could be a sports career, like moving from into professional sport and trying out for the team. that kind of energy. This card, the walking contradiction, the reason it is so is because he's looking back and it looks like he's stealing these swords, but I feel like this is representing the Queen of Swords, who's cutting through the paperwork and looking at the applicants and is in charge. So keep in mind that because this is an archetype, the Emperor can be a woman and the Queen of Swords can be a man, but in their feminine energy. So I'm getting that this is a double-edged sword. So this is someone that uses their intuition to be able to, and someone who's powerful, right? So this is someone who's deciding who gets the position. I'm getting that really clearly, whatever that is, and that the people, like, this is really interesting too, because the Grim Reaper, although it's a scary figure, it's just a figure representing like the end, you know, of something, or it can be an actual death. And in the old days, you know, a lot of cultures have adopted the Grim Reaper as the symbol of death. And this energy is the light at the end of the tunnel, though. So this quite often can be like the death of something you don't want, right? And I really feel like keeping your attitude and taking the 2 cups that you did keep has allowed you to put an end to this hoping and waiting cycle. And now you're moving on to being able to possibly receive this. We have, and it's interesting because the king has been trampled, and so it's sort of like, I feel like perhaps there was another applicant that seemed like for sure they were going to get the job, but they didn't, and it was someone that was expecting to get the job and they didn't, because you're going to take that position or that role. It keeps coming up, R-O-L-E, role. So a role can be like a role in a play, a role in a movie, etc., like where you actually play a character, or it can be, you know, a position that you take. So we'll see. And because this represents the light at the end of the tunnel. So I feel like, congratulations, whoever is resonating with this energy. It's just showing that because of your putting all the due diligence in, the hard work here was worth it. Because you're leaning on this staff, and this is like kind of representing you're going to be able to move forward. You're not going to be in doubt anymore. And look at that. Now you've crossed through that portal. That's really good. You've taken the action, or they're taking the action, and you are actually going to be moving on to something different. And then we have the Page of Cups coming in. So this could be like the announcement. So I'm waiting to get, you know, waiting to hear back, you know, and this energy is saying that the Page of Cups comes in with a message, and it's a message, it can be like he knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's focused on this fish, and this is the fish that he's chosen to focus on. And I feel like that's that energy coming into. This could be, okay, you're waiting to get a message. Was it you that they chose? And what I'm picking up also from this energy, the fish in the cup represents like, could be like something fishy, you know, because we're on this is kind of sneaky energy. This is a walking contradiction because he's looking this way, but he's moving forward this way. But this can also mean that all these doubts that you had, you're moving forward, and you know, like there was the 2 applicants, and now you've crossed through there. And so the focus is on you now. And this cup can be, this could represent a relationship, a partnership, something like that. A romance, but it feels more like, okay, like this is Piscean energy, the fish in the cup. And we moved out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, which is this younger, innovative energy. And it's like being a fish out of water, like because the Pisces energy is, the element is water, and we have a lot of water in the back. And the fish is in the air, like which is the Aquarius energy, where we just moved into the age of Aquarius in around 2020-ish. So this is like, okay, perhaps in the past, you might have been passed up for a promotion because you were too innovative, too experimental kind of energy, not like the typical person that they would choose for this position. But now the energy has changed and you're perfect for the position. So it's all about timing, right? And yeah, and a whole new world opens up, you see, if you get chosen for this position above all the rest of the competition. And so the world is the 21st card in the major arcana. It's the last card in the major arcana, and it also represents the end of a cycle and a beginning of a new one, like where you have like this whole new world in your hands. So congratulations if that's the case. And then we have, yes, Temperance. So Temperance represents Sagittarian energy. Sagittarians, that's this kind of energy, you know, where you launch the arrows and you want them to hit the target. And the wands represent that fire from the fire signs, and Sagittarius energy is also this temperance. And this is about having devotion to your purpose in life. Your purpose in life is actually to be the best version you can be. And I feel because you dedicated yourself to your craft, to your skill, like this could be an artist getting an offer at a famous gallery, like it could be an author writing a book and it's a bestseller, an actor or actress getting the leading role. It could be like, it feels like it could be something a little bit where there's a lot of competition, but it's not necessarily old school kind of work. It could be though, it could be a promotion in a company. It could be like they've decided to go with a more innovative CEO than the typical one they would normally choose in this company. And so Temperance is just saying that you have devotion to your life purpose and that you're constantly pouring into yourself. The best investment that you can make is investing in yourself, invest in your education, in, you know, and these days it's so easy. If you can't afford like an education like from a university or a college or whatever, you can go online and educate yourself that way and improve yourself. It's about constantly wanting to become a better version of yourself, and pouring into yourself is what I'm getting. This represents the universal waters and staying on your path, you know, to get to the sun, like to the energy that you want to be, the path that God put you on this planet to do. And sometimes if you're a unique individual, that could take some time for that to come to be. And then we've got, so the Queen of Cups. And so we have the Queen of Swords is, I don't feel this is necessarily the same queen. It could be. This could be one person with both these qualities, or it could be two different people. And keep in mind, one could be masculine or a male and one could be female, but they're both in their intuitive feminine energy. The Queen of Cups represents someone that is like marriage material, basically, someone that is a family person that loves, it could represent that she has like a container, and this is the only cup where, like in the cups, this is the only card in the cups where the face card has the container with the lid. And so this is saying that she's a container of love. And so this can represent love, romantic love, as can this, but it can also represent loving what you do and other people loving what you do is what I'm getting. Back and forth. Although there's two cups here too, so this could be a relationship that has come to be, and maybe this person it had a lot of opportunities, you know, like there's plenty of fish in the sea and they could have any fish they wanted because they were highly sought after, but they chose you. and they want to work with you. So this could be, or they want to be with you in a romantic love, because now all of a sudden we have, this is what you have to work with. This is what obstacles may be there to manifest it. And then this is the courage to being able to go after your heart's desires, what your authentic desires. Yes, and this is a passion for new discovery. So this is the universe, God, confirming here that you're being handed this gift because you have this passion for, you know, having the patience to really put the work in to be the person that you've become, that would be desirable for this position, whether that be a position of love, a position in a you know, a career, or just where you live and how you know, like the lifestyle that you want. It could be many things, but it's basically because you've adopted this energy of having a passion for moving forward and always improving yourself and improving your skill set, and having the focus to do so. Yeah, and because of your courage, it's opening up these opportunities to you. This card's strength is, it's just saying it required a lot of strength out of you to be able to stay on course, stay on track, because there were so many elements here, and I'm just getting that the position is something that it was high, like a lot of people wanted this position, and you faced your fears, and that's what the lion represents. It represents digging deep into your fears that you may have held from childhood. This may be something that you wanted from childhood. Instead of giving up when you got disappointed, you picked up what you did have and you carried on because you really wanted to do this. That's what the infinity symbol above her head also represents, this energy of multitasking. Perhaps you had to work 2 jobs while you were going to school, or you know, put extra hours in at work because you wanted to excel, or educated yourself as you worked. It's talking about the multitasking that you did has paid off to have you be chosen for this role. And this is representing your authentic heart's desires. Yes, okay, so this is, this card can represent like you're done, you're walking away, and because this represents an eclipse, so there's all this work has been put in, and there's all these 8 cups, and you have them lined up here, but you're walking away, you're done with this, you're moving on, and you're going to do something totally different. Or this can be, you have these 8 cups lined up and you're going after the 9th cup. And I just feel like this is about having the patience to get those last 2 cups. So this could be going upstream and, okay, I've got these ones lined up and I'm going to go get these, I'm going to add these 2 cups, and then I'm going to have the full amount, and it won't be a wish anymore. It won't be 9 cups. It will be 10 cups. This can represent relationships. This can represent what you, like someone you love or something you love to do. I feel in this case, your diligence and your patience to and dedication to your craft or whatever it is, that your education, whatever, is paying off, and you've been chosen possibly for an entrance position, or maybe it's just a role in a play where you don't get the lead role, but you're second, or that kind of energy, or both, because now we have 2 cups again coming in. So this does represent soulmates. This represents a relationship. This is the other 2 cups. So perhaps this is a love story and a work story. Perhaps you get the position, and then you meet the person that you love, and you have everything that you ever wanted, and you weren't expecting that. You were thrilled because you got the position, but now you go to, well, you probably don't want to get involved with someone at work, but perhaps you move to a new city or a new place, and that energy allows you to meet your soulmate. You bump into your soulmate on top of having the position. You now have you have the 2 cups here again. The 2 cups here of pouring the energy in, and then the 2 cups here. And this card of like something you wished for since you were a child has actually come through. It's kind of interesting. This card can also represent you conferring with your higher self, the masculine and feminine energies within yourself coming together and being really strong, because you have brought in, like all 4 kings in the emperor in your masculine energy, and in your feminine energy you have the queen who cuts through the bullshit, and you have the queen of cups that loves so much what they do that they're willing to do what it takes to get the position or have this person in your life. Really, really good energy though. It's just, judgment has been called. I feel like this is something, this quite often represents hidden, we had that moon over here. So this is like hidden aspects, secrets coming out, that kind of energy. But I feel like the judgment was more about being honored for your hard work, etc. It's coming up more like judgment of, okay, you have the position, or you've got the role, or you made the team, that kind of energy. Dun, 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 dun. And like this represents like the energy of ancestors and descendants congratulating each other. So it's a huge accomplishment, whatever this is. Yes, and we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is someone that's very charismatic and is sitting on his throne, well, like in a high position. This known as a visionary, known as someone that likes to take action, and you can see just by the body language that he's ready to get up at a moment's notice. This is the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's, highly desirable, has a lot of really good qualities, is fun to be, like an energy that's fun to be with and fiery, but is able, like not someone who parties so hard that they can't accomplish anything. They have a good balance that way. So this energy is looking right at the judgment. That's what this could be like the King of Wands perhaps has chosen someone to be in their life. That kind of energy, or that energy coming up within yourself. I'm getting that like what's happening is kind of what you were always wishing for is like coming all at once. Boom, 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 boom. Just from like sort of one, making this decision that you're not going to wallow in your tears and be disappointed. You're going to move forward. Because sometimes when rejection is God's protection. So sometimes what you thought you wanted and you didn't get it in the past, now you look back and think, oh my goodness, thank God I did not go down that route, because then I wouldn't have this. And that's the kind of energy I'm picking up. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So this is a gift from the heavens. This is like the universe, synchronicity in the universe. This is about, like, look at now the water has all these water lilies growing, and water lilies grow from the mud underneath. So out of the mud, out of the murkiness, out of what you don't know what's going to happen, can grow the most beautiful things. And the cup, this cup of love represents that your cup is running over. Like, so it's a never-ending, infinite supply of love. Love for what you do, and love like romantic love. This is a divine partner. So this could be the story of this King of Wands who went through all this and had all this, you know, and has become this star or this top CEO or whatever. And now the one cup that he didn't have was love, and now he has it. And you're it. Something like that. And then we have reconciliation. And I think in my last reading there was reconciliation. Something like that. So this card represents reconciliation, the Six of Cups. It's kind of talking about that this is, if this, like I keep getting this bumping into someone energy, that kind of energy. So you have like the Six of Cups. They're full of flowers. This card is a bit of an illusion. So usually when there's reconciliation or people reuniting like this, there has to have been some sort of forgiveness. And I just keep, like, this is similar to, I think it was yesterday's reading, where there's some energy of reuniting with someone from your past, like that you knew in your childhood. And perhaps something happened or you didn't notice each other back then or whatever. And now here you are and you bump into each other, or you're at a high school reunion is what I'm picking up. Something like that. And you bump into each other, and then all of a sudden it ignites this passion. And maybe something happened. Maybe you were like, it was your first love, and when you were in, high school or whatever, and there just wasn't enough maturity. And then, this Knight of Pentacles can represent that this person thought, oh, well, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but never met someone like that. And now, bang, you bump into each other, and it's like, oh, okay, now the forgiveness paves the path to reconciliation, because you can forgive people or forgive yourself, but it doesn't necessarily mean you ever want to have anything to do with them again. Or you can forgive people and decide, I want to reconcile. Interesting energy. This can also be about reconciling within yourself. So if love's not in the position, this could be just some really deep inner work that you're doing, where you've reconciled the two parts of yourself. You've healed your inner child, and you're feeling really happy with where you're at because of all the work you've done. So this card here is being left out in the cold, and it's kind of being like outside of society, outside of your family. It represents tactics that have happened that created a situation, and those tactics could be like government tactics. It could be something like you met someone when you were traveling when you were young, but you had to leave that country because you don't have the visa. That's kind of more the energy that I'm picking up, like that because of rules or, passports or visas or something like that, or a summer romance, and then you went back to your regular life. I'm getting that's more like the energy that's coming up here between these two. And at the top, okay, oh, isn't that interesting? Because there we have the Hermit, who has climbed the mountain and has sat on the mountain, conferring with God, going inward, meditating, praying, what is the right action to take. And you notice how similar that is to this card here, which is the regret of this not happening, and always kind of in the back of this person's mind. And so they receive the light, and that, the light from God lights up the staff. And that is the staff that you're leaning on here, you see? Really interesting energy. And the one that you're holding here. Yeah. And what I find interesting also is, you notice how much snow there is here. So the snow represents snowflakes. Like, you know, anyone can handle a flake or two, but if you get into a position where you have too much snow, it'll pile up and pile up and pile up. If you're in Canada, you know what I mean. And you got a lot of work to do to shovel it, and you know, it can really, this represents tactics, right? And so I just feel like that. I feel like it was more like circumstances. There could have been people involved, you know, but I feel like it was more circumstances. So you notice now there's way less snow. The light in the lantern is like, oh, okay, I have the answer. The snow's melted. I'm going to come back down the mountain and I'm going to make this happen. And so if we look at this from climbing the pyramid to coming back down from the pyramid, we have someone who's wanting to expand their horizons, has been waiting to do so, and now a cycle is changing, and they've made the move now, and they're taking action on moving forward in their life, possibly meeting a soulmate. Judgment has been called. Like this is representing self, like judgment within yourself, judgment of other people possibly. That could have been part of it. Like, oh, you don't want to be with that person, you know, like the ancestors saying, no way, get back to school and educate yourself, you know, that kind of energy. And so not seeing what you want for quite some time, and having to really go inward to be able to continue, like holding on to this, you know, what you really want. And then finally, like you're up, you know, conferring, like, okay, where am I in my life? Am I on my path that I really want to be on? And then boom, you know, you reconcile. And this could be reconciliation again within yourself and your higher self in you, masculine and feminine energies being reconciled within you. But whatever, if it feels like it's a romance, because this is that's what this card, this card represents a divine partner. And so and then you have two gifts in a row, right? And it's the passion for discovery, the passion for new discovery and taking action upon that has caused you to be able to find this, right? And then we have the exploring that. So this is, the Queen of Cups is someone that is marriage material. So this could be like an everlasting relationship, and all the hard work, the contemplation of that has paid off. Like it's like being in this energy again, back down in this corner where, you know, you have a wish and now it's being fulfilled. And it's being fulfilled not just because it's because like a lot of people would think, oh, well, this could never happen, right? This isn't going to happen. And they could have quit. But you didn't quit. You didn't let you controlled your mind instead of your mind controlling you. That's really an interesting reading. I hope you're enjoying this reading. And if you are, please do consider hitting that like button for me. It really does help, and leaving a comment. It does help me build my channel, and I really appreciate that. I'm going to, if you're interested in finding out more about, okay, what is this? I want to know. I want to clarify these cards. I want to know, okay, what's this about? Is this a job? Is this it's both. Like, it's really good energy. It's a nice way to like invest my time, like being in this energy. It's really strong energy. It's confirmation that it pays to keep, you know, to hold your dreams, and dreams do come true kind of energy. And so I'm clarifying the cards using my oracle, and it's Tales from the Vector. And this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And I began these big, large dragon paintings in 2007, and I completed the 64th painting in 2020. And for several years, I had used these cards in my oracle that I took them to psychic fairs, and I had a lot of seminars, etc. And had a lot of fun playing with them. But now I'm taking it to the next level because I have all the paintings done, and I'm ready to bring the deck, the actual deck out, and I want to make sure that I get the information how I want it and bring that out when it's ready. So I want to play with the cards a little bit online here and build my channel and just gain some more knowledge here, kind of like this reading. So I will have the numbers of the paintings are on these cards, and I will list them in the description box below. And if you want to view the paintings, you can go to tailsfromthevector.com, T-A-I-L-S, fromthevector.com. And this card is really wanting to jump out, so we're going to use that as, as the number one card here. There we go. It just popped right out of my hand here. So this is clarifying this energy. Yeah. So that's just, it's an energetic upgrade. Keep going. It's saying, like, don't give up now. Rejection is God's protection. Sometimes you're better off. And it may also have been a shift in energy here. Which is an upgrade in energy for moving forward, where you decided to really buckle down and not party as much, and really take this, like, okay, I'm going to take the next step that I need to be able to get what I want. And right here on the energy of wanting to expand horizons, we have Sagittarius, which is all about expansion rather than contraction. So this is about adventure and moving forward. And the Knight of Pentacles on the action. So all of this energy that was put into it, it's justice, it's redemption. So, and it's interesting because we have the 111 portal and 111 here. That's a portal that you opens up when you have made choices that are really strong. And quite often when people have this 1111 portal, it's kind of like you'll start noticing, oh, look at the clock, it's 11:11 or 1:11, and you'll wake up in the morning, or you have to use the washroom or whatever, and you wake up and you just glance at the clock and it's 1:11, or a car goes by and the license plate says 1:11, or you look up and there's an address and it's 1:11. It's that kind of energy, and that's a reminder to keep your thoughts. And that's how this energy is feeling to me, to keep your thoughts not positive so much, because you can't turn, like, this could have been really negative. This could have been a really bad decision, I'm getting bad decisions actions or whatever. And you have to decide, do I want to be strong in my actions, or am I going to be weak in my actions? And it's that kind of making those choices. So the 111 portal reminds you of that, to make strong choices and to watch your thoughts. Like, don't be talking yourself down. And so then I feel like the justice here is when you put all this energy into something and it doesn't happen right away, it quite often can just be about timing, and the time wasn't right, and when the time is right, these wands will land. And that's just how the universe works. That's how, the universe likes action, and sometimes it takes time for those wands to land that you launched from a long time ago. And this is also, the All-Star is about using your insight to know what move to take next, not to just, because it's kind of like you can be book smart, but you need to also be street smart, like you need to be able to use your common sense to be able to, and your intuition to be able to achieve like greater things. You can't just only use your logic, you have to also use your intuition. And okay, the blind spot, the scotoma, A scotoma is just like where there's like a small spot in your eye where it doesn't actually see. Most of the time you won't even notice it, so it's like a blind spot. And so this energy is just saying, you don't really know everything when you look at it. Like we see with a lot of people say, oh, when I see it, I'll believe it. But you don't really actually, when you're using your eyes, you don't actually see. You see a very small part of what's of the light spectrum. And, you know, there's all this dark energy in the cosmos, right, that physicists speak of. And so there's people are learning now that dark energy is full of energy. It's not empty, it's full. And it's not random, it's organized. So this is, God likes to have an organized, God is a God of organization. Ding, ding, ding. Like they have a saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. That's that energy, is having that perfect order. And so this energy is saying, like, the rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield for good reason. So it's about focusing on your future rather than lamenting the past, basically. And we have the Aquarius energy. So that's right on here, yes, where the Aquarius energy is different from like the Piscean energy, which was like sort of the old boys club. Now we're in this energy of experimentation. So it's like people don't keep the same job, same career, same like they used to. Don't live in the same place for their whole life, that kind of energy. Aquarius is about using your intellect to be able to experiment, observe, and then experiment, and then take what you learn from that and use it to better yourself. And then we have degradation. So this energy is perhaps at some point, you know, several points I'm getting, you felt like ashamed because you weren't moving forward at the pace that you thought you should. And maybe people were saying to you, you know, you're not going to be a lead actor in, you know, in Hollywood. So just give it up and go get a real job, that kind of energy. And you refused. You decided, no, I'm going to keep perfecting my craft because I love to do it. And that's another tactic, is what's fun for some is not for everyone. So this is like, sometimes we have a goal and other people, like this is like that party energy. Like a lot of times people feel like disruption would be more like someone coming in, like the competition coming in and, you know, making it hard for you. But really the competition is not with other people, it's with yourself. Can you keep going when times get hard? Are you going to give up, or are you going to go after your dreams? And so quite often disruption is when there's like holidays and there's parties to go to and that kind of energy. So instead of putting your energy into upgrading yourself, you're putting your energy into, you know, partying, which is good. You got to party some of the time, but you need to keep your focus is what's coming up. Yeah. Because it would be foolish to have expectations that that if you're wanting something like the lead role in a Hollywood movie, that it's just going to, you know, it's your expectation that it would be so easy to do and you wouldn't have to put the work in and it's just overnight success and that really happens. Those expectations really create limitations and it's foolish. Like the fool's going on a journey that could quite end up like not happening. Yeah, if you want to be a star, this is about innocence. So this is about, again, that childhood, you know, dreams that you always wanted to become. In your innocence, you can choose to be an innocent person and be like 90. And it's not about naivety. It's just choosing to have that playfulness that children have, to be willing to experiment and to keep going and not let the disappointments like pile up on you so you become like everybody else and, you know, just go settle for something that you really didn't want. And the ego is a karmic space that a lot of us can fall into. You need an ego to be able to survive in the 3D. Having said that, you want to make sure that you keep your ego in check, because if you become too, what's the word I'm looking for? Not righteous, but you know, when I can't, the word's not coming to me, but when you are in a position where you feel like you deserve this and you don't have to do the work, it'll come to me. And then we have abuse of power. So, you know, it's about how you treat people along in the journey, like being able to remain in this cheerful energy. And there's a lot of times, if there's something that's highly sought after, there can be abuse of power, and we've all experienced this. And this is also sitting on this childhood, you know, going after your fears. So sometimes this can speak of bullying, that kind of energy, and also in the past having seen other people who have these huge egos and they abuse their power and they get ahead. And why, you know, maybe that's the route you should take. You're better off, if you really want to be a star, is staying, you know, within yourself, being authentic within yourself. And then we have, if you want to achieve your authentic desires, because this kind of energy leads to you making concessions that lead you to, yeah, you might be successful in other people's eyes, but it's not really what you wanted, that kind of energy. I'm still looking for the word here. It'll come to me. Deception. It might not be till after this reading, though, unfortunately. You'll have to wait till tomorrow for the next reading, and I'll say, hey, I remembered the word I was looking for. It came to me. But this is another tactic, so deception. And so there's a lot, if there's a lot of competition, and it's talking about being in a place where you think things are a certain way, but they aren't. So it's about really like not taking everybody's word for it, and like getting into relationships with people that are about this energy, and then finding out after that you were deceived and it was just they wanted something from you instead of wanting to work with you. And then we have, yeah, the Taurus energy is, this is about learning when to give, when to take, how much to give and how much to take. Toddlers don't like to share, and Taurus is that it's a state of being where it's an immaturity about getting what you want when you want it right now, and having the maturity to be able to put the work in to having it. And then we have devotion, and that's that temperance coming in again. This is this energy of patiently consistent steps of action, working towards your goals, and then being in this place where, the word came to me, someone who's entitled, and that's what's coming up here. So staying on track within yourself and not falling for this energy where, oh, I'm entitled and I deserve this because of this or that. That's an immature attitude. That the give and take of the world is basically you take action and there is cause and effect from those actions. That's what we refer to as karma. And here we have it, the falling star. This is being totally unfettered. The falling star is all about the heart chakra, doing what you love, being what you love, being in love, you know, a romance, all of everything you want, everything you love, all those cups. So congratulations. It's possible is what this is saying. I love this reading. This is, oh, there you go. It's all about love. I hope you also enjoyed it. Please do like and comment and consider subscribing if you resonate with this energy. I will be back with another reading tomorrow. Bye for now.